Check us out on Patreon, guys, where we're giving you the entire year now for $10.08. Over 100 videos worth of content for $10.08.
8 cents is just such a slap in the face.
Like 84 cents a month, I think is what it comes out to.
I haven't seen 84 cents in 15 years.
I'm telling you.
Ever since penny candy.
So check us out on Patreon, guys. Hope to see you there.
The entire year.
What's up, guys? Your boys are back.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan, my man, George.
What's shaking, guys? How you living out there? Shout out to the free thinkers, of course, man.
Yeah, man. So Chance the Rapper dropped a new song, The Heart and the Tongue.
When he dropped that on the 4th?
Yeah, man.
Okay. And
yeah.
then we got blown up in the DMs, and everybody keeps saying Chance is back, and we've heard some buzz about this song. Chance is back. Chance. I didn't know he left. I mean, I guess. Oh yeah. Well, the Big Day album. I guess.
Yeah, got a lot of bad reviews.
Yeah. I never listened to that album.
I don't
keep
think
it real.
we didn't do anything.
So clearly, guys, we're not huge, Chance the Rapper supporters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We rock with him, and we know that he's talented. Because
Yeah.
I remember when we did that I Might Need Security reaction. Check that out.
Yeah.
And we know that, I've heard enough from Chance to know that when he wants to, his pen is very, very slick. But I think it's always just been a style thing with Chance. I've always appreciated his perspective. He seems like a very sort of balanced, even-keeled, nice guy.
Big time.
And I just think it's more of a style thing that just hasn't really motivated me personally to get into some of his other stuff. But I gotta be fair, man. We gotta get a dude a shot, man.
Yep.
'Cause I know the talent lyrically is there, so we'll see.
But speaking of lyrical talent, man, that's a perfect segue into our platform, man. Guys, we said that on our last couple of videos, guys. We're launching our own platform, our own website. So if you're interested, up-and-coming artists, hip-hop, rap, R&B, reach out to us. When you reach out, include a song. Include at least one song in the email so that way we could kind of take a listen to it or whatever the case may be.
But I'm going to listen to that Big Day album, just getting back to this whole Chance being back thing just to see, because I mean, was the album that bad? Give us some feedback on it. Was it that bad? Because I think people oftentimes exaggerate. One person says something and then it just becomes a snowball effect.
Yep.
So I'm going to listen to it myself to see what I think of it. But let's see what he has to offer this time, man. Chance the Rapper, The Heart and the Tongue.
My heart and tongue are fighting, my mind is undecided. It's not like Trump and Biden, it's run like something private. Like when your cousin's fighting, one of them get excited. You can't just jump the gun and pick a side and jump inside it. Remember Pontius Pilate hung a God and justified it. The truth is slow cause someone's always in a rush to hide it.
Yeah.
Hold up, I'm gonna run that back.
Yeah, he's going in already.
I think I was more so focused on the aesthetic. Just him laying back and looking up and just, so it has a reminiscent feel of like a Kanye. I'm trying to think of who else. Maybe Kanye / Dilla feel to it. It has more of a conscious backpack rapper feel, which I think is what acid rap is about.
Yeah.
And I know obviously his connections with Ye, throughout his career.
Right.
So it feels like a Ye type beat, to be honest with you. Okay, start that back up.
My heart and tongue are fighting, my mind is undecided. It's not like Trump and Biden, it's run like something private. Like when your cousin's fighting, one of them get excited. You can't just jump the gun and pick a side and jump inside it. Remember Pontius Pilate hung a God and justified it. The truth is slow cause someone's always in a rush to hide it. The lies is golden cause the devil got a touch of Midas. The soul is brighter cause the Holy Ghost is ultraviolet. The tongue is violent when the spirit starts to hunger strike.
Hold up.
He killed that.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that whole little section right there. You can't just jump the gun, Actually, I just let my cousins fight. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I try to break it up initially, like, hey, hey, y'all.
That's funny.
All right, after that, go ahead.
Go ahead. Y'all handle y'all business.
Handle that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love the way he started this off, man. He said, my heart and tongue are fighting. My mind is undecided. It's not like Trump and Biden. It's more like something private, It's like when your cousin, that's when you went in that whole scheme, and it's like when your cousins are fighting each other and you jump in and you don't know which side to pick, which is hard. We're going to get to that. But the way he started this, and I think it plays into the whole scene of him kind of laying back and being introspective. Yeah. Just kind of thinking about, the struggles that he may be going through. His heart may be telling him one thing, but what he says is maybe not the same thing that his heart feels, but his mind is in the middle. It's like in the middle of a fight. Like if your cousins are fighting, right? You don't know which side to jump on because you're undecided.
And you
don't-
also value both, right?
Right.
You value your heart for certain reasons, and you value
Exactly.
the reasoning aspect of what's going on
Right.
internally with yourself, which I think represents the tongue. You know what I mean? Your heart is what you truly feel is probably the right thing, but maybe your tongue is saying, you know, but your tongue may be representative of your mind. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's saying, nah, we got to be a little bit more politically correct.
That's basically exactly what I think he means by it, and it's just so beautiful because of the writing, because he's so it's kind of like an inner struggle. You don't know which way to turn, so to speak. So I just thought that was beautiful, man.
It's something that everyone, I'm sure, can relate to on some level, right?
Yeah. Remember when I think it's Pontius Pilate hung a god and justified it, right?
Which was hard.
Which
That's
was
hard, man.
hard, man. And I think that was like, I don't know, man. I'm not religious, so I don't really know the Bible like I probably should know it. But I think that's the guy that kind of persecuted Jesus, right?
In some capacity.
Something like that.
Relax, guys. We may not be 100% on it. In some capacity, I think he's responsible for Jesus being
Crucified.
or something like that. He's played a part in that. I think
Right.
is where he's going with it.
So that kind of brings that line, this whole scheme full circle, right? Because that was an unjustified death, right? So to speak, with crucifying Jesus. So plays right back into him saying his mind is undecided, right? It's kind of like his cousins fighting. You know, he doesn't want to jump the gun
And make the wrong decision.
make the wrong decision. That's beautiful,
So
man.
he really, really illustrated just the internal struggle of whatever he's feeling. We don't know what what that internal struggle is, but I think it's a beautiful way of writing about, in a poetic way, his internal struggle. Just slick, clever, dope.
Yep. And the truth is slow, right? Because someone's always rushing to hide it.
Yeah, that line, and it's, come on, we know that that's facts.
That could be applied to everything in life pretty much, right?
But I love the aesthetic, man. I love that he's sort of, looks like he's heavily contemplating his internal struggle, and I think the video really matches kind of where he's at. So, fire. Let's keep it going.
Fight it. The truth is slow cause someone's always in a rush to hide it. The lies is golden cause the devil got a touch of Midas. The soul is brighter cause the Holy Ghost is ultraviolet. The tongue is violent when the spirit starts to hunger striking. The thunder lightning makes the heart go under bunkers hiding. The lungs is silent when it hears the footsteps of the giants. And then the fingertips they twist up like Poseidon's trident. Remember safety if you ever running from the titan. Remember Mookie if they ever come to cut the hydrant. They cut the heart out with the tongue, they want it undivided. You better not start, you make a fuss, you end up uninvited.
You better not start. You make a fuss, you end up uninvited. You better get you the fuck out of here.
But that's why there's an internal struggle, right?
Yeah.
That last line is what we're talking about when he said, you better not start because you make a fuss, you end up uninvited.
Get your ass up out of here.
Which is why, like, you gotta be real careful which one you choose at what times, right? Between the heart and the tongue. Sometimes the tongue is a little bit more necessary. The reasoning and all that is more necessary in terms of how you navigate life. And sometimes you got to go from what your heart says.
Correct.
Because you make the wrong move, man, you can get kicked out of, you know, you can slow your progression or get kicked out of certain things that can lead to your advancement in life is how I'm taking that line. But that was slick. That the lies is golden because the devil got a touch of Midas line is so slick, man.
Yeah.
So he's referencing the Midas touch, right? King Midas, and everything he touched turns to gold. And the devil is representative of
deception.
Deception, right? The lies of golden. You know, gold is great, right? It's valuable. It's
great.
It looks great, visually appealing. And the lies are more appealing because the devil has that golden touch.
He's
you
like
know?
deceptive. Yeah, that deceptive.
Deception shit.
Yeah,
but I love how he played into the Midas touch and everything there. And the ultraviolet was slick. But then he said the tongue is violent when the spirit starts to hunger striking. When you're indulging in something or you're in the right place spiritually, you know what I mean? Your tongue, as a result of that, right, becomes violent. You become unsettled in a way, right? You start talking crazy and you're just unstable because what's inside internally, what you're going through is you're almost lost in a sense is how I'm taking that line, which I think is really fucking dope.
You know, how many times have you been in a situation in life where you feel like you've been wronged? You're like, man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So now your soul, your heart is no longer in the equation. You know, the balance of the tongue and the heart is the heart's no longer in the equation. The tongue is like, oh, what you gonna do? You know, when your tongue is violent, you're gonna say things that you maybe didn't think through because your heart is not in it.
Your heart's not in it. You're not spiritually aligned.
Beautiful,
you know what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
So the way he's playing, it's heart and tongue, but it's your mind versus your faith and whatever you truly believe in. It's a lot of different things, and he's just tying it in with so many different examples and analogies here. But he's killing it, man. All right, let's get back to it.
Uninvited. didn't mind the beefing. I call them rhyme and reason. They always going head to head, I'm trying to Siamese them. My father got a special set of skills like Liam Neeson. He told me faith and squinted eyes could turn a blind Venetian. I seen a sign, I'm in the den, I'm with the lion sleeping. I seen the wine, I seen the water turn to bright Tahitian. The heart is somewhere on Hawaiian beaches, tying pigeons to the giant peaches. I want the beat to feel like diegesis. I'm tired of politicians trying to sell us diet Jesus. That's like dialysis was trying to sell us diabetes. Act like you was born yesterday and you gon' die a fetus. The mind's philosophy is old, the stylist of my leaders. The mind is...
Yeah, it's too much. Too much, man. Too much. But you know, this is beautiful, man, because I feel like this sort of the way the video shot, and I guess how the beat is there, but it's sort of a minimal feel to it. It's a soulful beat, but has a minimal feel. I really think it's highlighting Chance's lyrical ability. I think it's really probably reminding people. People keep saying Chance is back. I think it's reminding people just how talented Chance really is when he really is focused on his pen. Dude is dope, man.
He said, I'm tired of politicians trying to sell us diet Jesus. That's like dialysis trying to sell us diabetes. He's like, they act like you was born yesterday and you're gonna die a fetus.
Crazy.
Woo! How does the saying go? It's not like I was born yesterday, meaning like I'm not an idiot, man.
Right.
I know you're trying to take advantage of me, so to speak. So I think what he's saying here is maybe politicians, the media, you know, the world in general lets you, they paint a picture in what they think is the truth and maybe prey on maybe the lack of knowledge that someone may know, you know, and really feed you a bag of lies. And if that's the case, then you die a fetus. You're dying a child, you know what I mean? Because you're really not seeking the knowledge to seek out the truth, so to speak.
Yep.
Now, I could be wrong, but that's just the way that I'm taking that
Very
line.
clever, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Because act like you were born yesterday, but then you'll die a fetus if you act like you were born yesterday, right?
Correct.
So it's just the whole play on that old adage, but again, that's what made it
beautiful.
clever. You know what I'm saying? Dope. And I love how Chance is, you know, he's a Christian. And I really do feel like it's a difference between being a Christian rapper and a Christian that happens to rap.
Yep.
I really do.
True.
I know that sounds like the same thing, but I think Chance is more on the lines of he's a Christian, but he just happens to know how to rap. Because I think Christian rappers just promote Christianity and they're kind of almost shoving it down your throat sometimes. Not all Christian rappers, but some that I've experienced. And I think Chance does a brilliant job of incorporating these sort of religious themes throughout this to kind of highlight the internal struggle that he's been going through. I seen the sign, I'm in the den, I'm with the lion sleeping. He's referencing, I think, Daniel in the lion's den, right? Sort of a biblical thing. Then he said, I seen the wine, I seen the water turn to bright Tahitian, right? Jesus turning water to wine. Yeah. And I think what he's saying by making these specific references is that he's holding on to his faith. You know what I mean? I seen the wine, I seen the water turn, I believe. You know what I mean? And my faith is amidst all the struggle, all the things happening in society. And, you know, what he say, my heart and my mind are like, I'm trying to Siamese them. I'm trying to bring them together and sort of create some sort of synergy and balance. Amidst all of that, I'm holding on to my faith. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he said earlier. He said the soul is ultraviolet. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing a sort of consistency with him mentioning these biblical references and how he's his faith, I'm assuming, is helping him get through some of these tough times where his heart and his mind are sort of in turmoil, right? Then what is he referencing? James and the giant peach here, tying pigeons to giant peaches, and I want the beat to feel like diegesis, and I think that's sort of like a narrative type of thing, which I feel like he's doing pretty well, narrating his internal struggle, and then that diabetes line, which we thought was dope. So I just love just how clever and poetic he's sort of describing, you know, this internal struggle, man. All right, let's finish it up.
I want the beat to feel like diegesis. I'm tired of politicians trying to sell us diet Jesus. That's like dialysis was trying to sell us diabetes. Act like you was born yesterday and you gon' die a fetus. The mind's philosophy is old, the stylist of my leaders. The mind is quite elitist, that's why they like quiet preachers. They buy our leaders easier than I could buy a feature. That's why the genius always end up on the tightest leashes. That's how I wrote my whole entire thesis. My heart and flesh are racing, that's why I get complacent. That's why y'all get impatient. Y'all don't get the invitation. I'm sitting courtside with the nurses during visitation, watching the vitals with some popcorn in anticipation.
Yeah, dope. I'm sitting courtside with the nurses during visitation, watching the vitals and some popcorn in anticipation, he said. they buy our leaders easier than I can buy a feature. You know what I'm saying? Like the people who run this world or this country or whatever the case may be can be bought.
And that's why the geniuses always end up on the tightest leases.
leases.
That shit is crazy, right? Yeah. And I feel like people that are the most talented always get the most stifled, right? They always kind of seem to never get their just due, so to speak, because it's the truth. And it kind of goes back to that line when he said that the truth is slow. What did he say exactly?
Yep. He said the truth is slow, so everybody's in a rush to hide it.
There you go.
You know
there you go. I think that ties into that really, really perfectly as well.
And it all ties in, man. It all ties in. Getting back to that fetus line of again, you have to be what he's telling you by saying, act like you was born yesterday, you're gonna die a fetus. If you're not out here and you're not woke or aware of what's going on and you're not conscious about what's happening, you're just gonna be prey. You're gonna die a fetus. You're gonna get swallowed up.
Yep.
They're buying our leaders out here. He's just hinting around to corruption and all this other shit.
Beautiful,
but
man.
that was a beautiful poetic way of just kind of touching on that.
Do your own due diligence as opposed to just listening to what's being told to you.
Because someone who was born yesterday would do some shit like that, right? I'm gonna just listen to what this motherfucker says.
Exactly. The whole this whole song is just kind of him going through. Number one, the trials and tribulations, maybe the internal struggles that he's personally going through, but he's touching on a lot of things that I think a lot of people could, relate to and go through in their personal lives and in the world that they can relate to as struggles. It may not be internal, but these are, he's talking about maybe misteachings from, it could even be from other religious groups, because he said politicians in there, but there's so much to unpack here, and it could relate to so many people in so many different ways, man. And that's what great writing is supposed to do. Really just kind of number one, get you thinking.
Yep.
Number two, really just be relatable. If you can take whatever's being written on this piece of paper, or in this case, this song, and really relate it to your own personal life, or really see where the writer is trying to relate it to the general public, I think you got something that can be almost a masterpiece at that point.
Everybody can relate to what he's saying. There's a thing called tact. There's timing. There's understanding your audience and the situation, and when, and all these things factor into when you use your reasoning and when you use your heart, right? But it's a struggle. It's a struggle, a constant struggle. So I think everybody can relate to that. And I love what he said at the end here when he ended it. He said, my heart and flesh are racing. That's why I get complacent. That's why y'all get impatient. Y'all don't get the invitation. So, I mean, Chance, how many albums has Chance released? I don't know. Give us some feedback. But I don't think Chance has released a lot of albums.
Right.
It seems like he takes his time with projects, right? He just takes years to release projects. And I think that's what he's hitting on, right? This constant battle between what do I say, how do I say it?
Yep.
I want to make sure that I'm not, giving out the wrong messaging, or is it the right time for for me to say these specific things? It kind of stifles him, right? It stifles him from kind of releasing music. And as a result, his fans get a little impatient.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't get the invitation. Well, I think this is his way of inviting his fans into what's going on in his mind and his heart, right? So I think that his fans can appreciate that. He spoke from the soul on this one, I feel like.
Yep.
But what I'm gathering from this, man, to kind of sum it up, in my opinion, is just exhibiting patience and exhibiting sort of a strong faith. Whatever you're going through, whatever turmoil you're going through, man, just stay true to your faith and who you are and what's in your heart and your mind, and try to make sure that they're both aligned before you jump the gun, right? Before you start to present yourself to the world and in front of people. And I think everyone can relate to that on some level, man. So this was fire to me. This is dope, man. So I gotta run it back to see if I can really bang it and play it. You know what I mean? In terms of, I think it's a great piece of art. Yeah. But I'm trying to figure out if it's something that I want to go back and listen to. But I'm definitely going, just because it's dope, I'm gonna give it another run through on a whip. But dude, this was great.
Yeah, it was great. It was great, man. And that's kind of the way I feel about it as well. It was great, man. I think the writing in this just took center stage. I really appreciated the minimalistic beat for him to get his shit off and really kind of get his thoughts and his feelings onto paper and present that in a song like Platform. So I think that's great. I'm not a fan of the sample per se. So I don't think it's something that I'm going to, necessarily play in my car and get a lot of continuous play from it. But I don't know if that's what he was trying to do. I don't know. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But for me, I just think this is more so of a display of just high penmanship and skill. And because the dude can rap, man, and he really can paint a great picture of how he's feeling and put it in a song. Dude, that is what we're talking about when we're talking about talent and depth and substance, you know, because you said it a lot.
Creativity.
Yeah. You know, no matter what you're talking about, can you take me in the mind can I get into the mind of the artist, you know?
Can you show me your perspective and how do you deliver your perspective?
Right.
And I think that that's what people can learn, man. It's like, you have to understand that even if something maybe isn't your style, if it's not something that you can see yourself really going back to, learn how to appreciate it outside of yourself.
Yep.
And I think Chance is good for hip hop and music in general. You know what I mean? So this was dope.
It was dope, man. It was dope. And there's so many things that you could take, so many jewels out of here you could take, man, and apply it to life, man. It's just so many jewels, man. And because I think everyone goes through that inner struggle of, should I say this? Should I not say this? I know I want to do this, especially when we talking about jobs.
Jobs, yes, I swear, dude. Man, listen, bruh. I really wanted to, man. You read my mind. When we talk about working for a company and this and that, and you got your boss, and
you be like, if this motherfucker say something to me today,
yeah, buddy,
I'm gonna beat the brakes off.
You know your value and you know your worth, but you gotta kind of tame it because you don't want to step on the wrong toes and you gotta play the game and your tongue says one thing, your mind, your reasoning says is saying, dude, you gotta hold on, bro. We got about 2 more years of saving before you can talk crazy. But your heart is saying, dude, what? Brilliant. I love that you brought that up.
That's exactly what that came to mind. Anyway, man, great song though, man. I'm interested to see what Chance comes out with. I'm definitely gonna promise you guys I'm gonna get to that Acid Rap.
Me too.
Album.
But I'm actually anticipating this now. Like whatever he has coming out, I don't know if this is a one-off. Give us some feedback if he has an album dropping. But I'm gonna give it a listen.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because I just appreciate the artistry. You know what I mean? Fire. Shout out to Chance. Shout out to everybody that requested that. That's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Once again, all up-and-coming artists, man, we're trying to develop a platform centered around giving you guys just more exposure, to be honest, man. R&B artists, man. R&B artists, reach out to us, man. We need more R&B. We're going to do an R&B reaction to hopefully appeal to more R&B people, country too, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
And also, guys, you'll see information regarding our sponsors in the video as well. But make sure you guys shoot us an email if you're interested in being on the platform. I'm George. That's Ryan, Lost in Vegas.
We out.
We out.